Hi, this is Told. Welcome, and today we're trying to flood out. We're going with the Valley Floodcaller and we're trying to see if we can break it. 2 mana, 1 blue, 2/2. You can cast non-creature spells as though they had flash. This has flash. And then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, birds, frogs, otters, rats, you control get +1/+1, and you untap them. I don't know if maybe there's other stuff that we could be doing. That has to do with that tap and untap ability. We do have a couple of convoke spell, just a convoke to draw cards spell, just hopefully to, if we have enough people out, 4 creatures, then we basically cast this for free. And it's a free +1 to all the creatures, and you draw 2 cards and hopefully draw into other stuff. And then we're just going with, we have the Mockingbird to copy the Floodcaller. We got this here. Plumcreed Escort, when it enters, target creature gets hexproof, so kind of protect our Floodcaller if we need to, if we can. And then we're going with, a bunch of prowess creatures. We got Kitsa in there. I don't know if 4 copies is good or not. Probably it should be like a 2. Just because it's a legendary. Let's go with this otter thing. I don't know. Splash portal. I just don't know if it's too many. It's too many. It's not really in there for the copy part, but if we have enough mana to copy, we will copy. And technically with the Floodcaller and Gets Out, you just need to cast 1 spell. Stupid magic. Okay. Let's just play some games. Alright, got a Floodcaller, got Kitsa, got the Escort. Cast a Floodcaller at their end step and keep up the Escort as a protection. Got another Otter. Don't have green mana. I don't know if that's a mistake. We should probably put some way to make green mana. It's possible. It's good to have options if you need them. Gruul ramp. Alright. Just need some draw spells is all. They good. So possum and raccoons. Big mana ramping. No attacks. End turn. We really just need a spell. Maybe we do want that draw guy. Frog. They got a lot of mana to work with. 4, 5, 6 mana. It's fine. I mean, we could do some stuff from our graveyard, but it's not that important. Yeah, I wish we had 1 more mana. I mean, they could have a shock, but nothing we could do to that. Draw and discard. Dang it. Mockingbird's pretty good. Maybe the Escort's not going to be good. I'll just get rid of the Escort. Good thing I got rid of the escort. Would they attack us then? I'm gonna get rid of this escort again. So now we can Floodcaller into Splash Portal. Untap our creatures, maybe catch them. Surprise attack. Just a +1/+1. I don't know if it's enough. This will go up to 2/4. Will it? We can get rid of the trash technician, I think. Oh, I know I got a prowess there. I don't know what you're waiting for, huh? Yeah, it sucks that I had to flash it, flicker it out. I just want to kill this guy, take the 10. Maybe I could have did more damage, but I just need a draw spell, right? We can blink out the otter. Just don't have enough mana to copy the spell. We're fine. They're top decking. We need another mana. Yeah, you do that. Maybe bounce out the Floodcaller? Is that a better one? I don't know. I don't know if it's better to block. Maybe it is better to bounce the Floodcaller itself. That's pretty good. You do that. I don't know if they have enough. I don't think they do. Instant. Well, they do, but they don't have enough. We keep doing that. There's no lands in there. Do we kill him? That's the question. pretty good. Pretty good. Double Floodcaller. That's what you need, baby. Yeah, maybe more card draw. I think you want to get the Gossip's talent down as quick as possible for the surveil effect. So... I mean, the Antic still seems like the card to discard just because you could play it from the graveyard. Though it's not the best of options, right? It seems like they have a cut down, but I don't know. Do we want that fourth land? We need that fourth land for this. We need that fourth land for this for sure. Although it's not as important at all, really. We just really want to level that up to 2 and level this up when really. Okay. So make another otter. That one's pretty good. Double otter? Why not? If they're using spot removal on an otter. Do I want to? I think we just want this and start discounting our spells. Do we need a second one? I don't really want it, but I feel like they might remove it. Better to have a backup. I don't know what they're doing. It's a little bit pricey, but it's well worth it. I don't think that spell's that great, actually. Your fish. Did I miss that? I feel like I could have cast that. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. I think this does it. Should do it. +5. Draw some cards. Discard something. It's pretty good. We guess we can make a treasure with a fountain port. It's an option. This is +5, +4, 2 mana. I need a prowess otters. Basically, I've hit him for 20 on my turn. Do they have a cut down? They had some. I'm gonna hold. You know you want to cast it. You know you want to cast it. No? No? Change your mind? Just took that damage? Like a boss? Man. It's eating you inside. I have a creature and you don't. Now I have two creatures. What you gonna do? Do I hold up 3 steps ahead or do I go for the greed? Huh. Let's do this. Can't block it. Too weak. We get Kitta down next turn. Hit him for another 7. Put him down to 5. That's the thing you're afraid of. You have a bounce spell? Interesting. Don't have enough. Hold up the counter spell. And if they don't give us anything that we want to counter, then I'll just flash in the Floodcaller. Oh, you have a counter spell. Interesting. Very interesting. Did we hit him for 5? Nah. Okay. We just draw cards? Nah, I'm good. That's the question. It's pretty good for the otter. Maybe we want some more elusive otters in there. They basically can just attack on their own. I think next turn we just win if we can get them to tap out. You know. Right? Although they do have a blocker. Okay. I wonder if I'll draw. I mean, we could at least cycle. I mean, I don't know. I might hit something really good. Mockingbird's pretty good, but not that great. I guess that's pretty good. And they just need more removal spells, I guess. Probably fake them into attack, maybe? I don't know if they would. Make it look like desperation. They only have 5 cards in their graveyard. See how greedy they are. Oh, not too greedy. Oh, he has to double block, right? I think. Huh. Oh, did I mess up? I don't think so. Maybe I did. I could have held that land too. Might have messed up. I definitely could have did 2 more spells. Would have been 4 damage. Ooh, that's a good spell. So 3, 4. Is it a risk? It's a calculated risk. Oh, if we could send the flood. I think we could send the Floodcaller in. We could definitely cast another spell, right? I don't know if we need some like equipment or something. Oh, we definitely want more elusive otters. I keep forgetting. At least 2. I think we need at least two otters. It's a pretty good card. Especially since we could pump it up with that 4/5, so it's a 5/5, 5/4 attacker. Very hard to block. And just go straight in with it, huh? Alright. Do they have a spell is the question. So we'll find out. Triple Floodcaller. Don't mind if I do. And a Meeting of the Minds. Take a while to get those out though. Floodcaller. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, put something big out. That could be tough. We can counter it though. I think we'll start with this. Might as well, right? You be mana efficient, right? So then it doesn't untap, right? No, we can't untap him. That's the only problem. We can't block this thing, I think. Very greedy. Wonder what they're thinking. Thunderbolt? Floodcaller? Draw 2 cards? We have the stasis field. Another Floodcaller. 3, 4, 5 mana. 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6 mana actually. I don't know if we want another Floodcaller. That's a good question. I could wrap the... Like what? I don't understand. They don't have any creature? They're at 6. Let's start with... I mean, I could do it during the attack phase. I'll just start with this. And then... let's do this. Play the Elusive Otter, see how good it is? Right? 7 power just out of nowhere. And we can copy the Floodcaller and cast a third one. Like 7/7, what did I cast there? 2 spells? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because his own prowess, Floodcaller 1, Floodcaller 2, plus 7/7 for 2 spells. I think we got it down pretty good. Okay, and we're back. I've made the changes to after playing it. We did really good. We went 4-1, and the one game we lost, we only had 3 lands. They had 6. And what are you gonna do? We took them to 7, but it wasn't good enough. So I don't know if I showed it or not. But all the rest of the games working out just as planned. The Valley Floodcaller, people aren't ready for the untap ability and the +1/+1. So you attack in, tap your creatures, or you try to bait them into an attack by tapping, Kitsa or something, and then you just untap them and use them as blockers. I think we figured out that the Elusive Otter is really good. Maybe we put in a couple green lands. I don't really want to put in anything slow. So I don't know what land you would put in that makes green mana, that comes in untapped. That's not an island, not a forest itself. That's like also an island. As a pain land? Don't want pain lands though. You could put in the Vinestalk, the Surveil land, the Desert land, the Life Gain land, Grotto. I mean, the Fountain Port makes you a treasure, so maybe we just do with that. Or we could do the Sunken Citadel at 2. So we could pick green if we wanted to, if we had enough blue. I think that's a good option. And then if we don't have it, we could just do blue. And that way it'll make the Fountain Port cheaper. It'll be 2 and then 2 and itself, so that's still 2, 3, 4 lands you need to tap. Yeah. But yeah, we got the Floodcaller. I told you Kitsa at 4 was bad. It's not as good of a card as people think. 1, it's legendary, which is okay. 2, that costs 2 mana to use it. You have to have 2 mana to cast your spell, 2 mana to use your ability, so that's why we're going with the Shoreless Sea, the Eluge, so we can discount our spells, hopefully. And then that's why we have stuff like the Otterball Antic and the Talent in there. These are non-creature spells, right? Like they're making creatures. There's a couple other cards that we could look at for drawing, stuff like Take the Fall or Timely Interference, where maybe it can keep your guy alive, or use it on the blockers. The problem with this one is we don't have... They're basically the same card because we don't have any outlaws. so it won't ever get a +4, -4, -4. So it's not that great of a card, but thieving otters are something I wish we could play with. Maybe when I make the Gossip's Talent deck, I'm gonna put in 4 copies of that otter baby. He's a cute little guy. Tempest Angler. So there's a couple things. The Pawn Prophet. It's a frog, but it draws you a card. But you could use it in a blue deck. Right? It has blue mana. It's either blue or green, or combination. So it can go in a all mono green deck. It can go in, or a mono blue deck. Just like the Tempest Angler is a blue card as well, right? Like it can go in a blue deck. It would be nice in this deck. It gets +1/+1 counters. The only difference with this one, right? This doesn't have trample, and even that cheap red creature. Right? Maybe it's only instant sorceries. Right? Yeah, the Electrostatic Infantry. That has trample, and it's still not good enough, right? So this is 1 power more, but 1 mana more. Not going to be good enough, right? In concept, it's good, but I don't know. It's a permanent prowess trigger. Maybe it's better. I guess it's non-creature spell, so it's better than this. But it doesn't have trample. It doesn't fly. We don't have any way to give stuff flying. And then once it gets above the Gossip's Talent of a power 3, it can't be blocked. So once it gets above power 3, then we can't use the unblockability on it, which is when you want it to be unblockable. And that's why we're going with the Gossip's Talent for the prowess creatures, because they go back down to 1 or lower than 3. So we could pump them up somehow. Permanent plumps. This card, to complete the circuit, is probably something I always wanted to use. The next spell you cast, instant or sorcery you cast, you copy it twice. So it's 3 times. Behind the Mask is another pump spell. That's a 4/3, and if you collect evidence, it's base power and toughness of 1. I don't know if we'd have to have 3 spells in the graveyard, which I guess is possible. So this is a possible removal / pump spell. So it might be something to look at in the future. Combat research, I really want to cast it at instant speed and put it on Kitta to when the opponent's tapped out to kill it, because you have the Floodcaller out and you can cast it at flash speed, and then make him have to pay that ward to counter it. It's a dream. The Relic makes another dinosaur, so I think Behind the Mask is better than the dinosaur, although this makes it an artifact, so technically you could protect against Go for the Throat by turning your creature into an artifact. Something to think about. Sleight of Hand is a 1 mana draw card, basically. I took out the Escorts as well. I replaced it with 1 Shore Up and did some math with these things. It just was 2/1 flyer is pretty good, but and then Portent of Calamity is a card that looks pretty good. You reveal X cards for each card type. Exile, put in. You can cast 1 for free. Put the rest in your hand. Put the rest in the graveyard. We have instant, enchantment, instant, sorcery, right? Creatures. So we have a lot of different types of things. So it might be good, and you could just do it for like 2 or 3, and if you hit multiple different types of cards, right? Even lands count, I would assume. For each card type, you may exile that card. Yeah, so you could even get a land as well. It's a pretty good draw spell. If only we had space for it. I think Meeting of Minds is just too strong with the Floodcaller. Any type of Convoke where you're drawing cards, where you're basically casting it for free. You tap all your creatures, untap them with the Floodcaller. It's just too strong. So, but I think I got the numbers cleaned up, so you should have a really nice play. Adding that 1 Shore Up. getting these number, adjusted. I like having the, instead of just doing like 4 chart a course, I like having the curate in there just in case you don't have a flood collar out. You still have instant speed that you could use for the prowess triggers, and then chart a course, obviously, you really want to use that with the flood collar out, attack in and then draw some cards, get your pumps. But so that's why not kind of, this one's the better card because you could draw 2 cards, where this one you only draw 1. You do surveil 2, but maybe it's just like you should just do all curates. It's a tough call. And a Gossip Talent, we're not really concerned about the level 4, level 3, but level 2, definitely unblockable creatures. Unblockable prowess creatures that double trigger, so you cast 2 spells and have that 7/7 with a elusive otter. Just a dirty deck. Dirty white. Yeah, this has been Told. Like and subscribe. See you next time.